Hi, I'm Dr. Sophie Bostock and I'm a sleep expert. In this video, I'll explain why waking up during the night can be a natural part of sleep and some strategies for coping next time this happens to you. You've probably heard that we sleep in cycles, and you might wear a tracking device which estimates how much of the different stages you get. Sleep stages refer to different patterns of electrical activity in the brain and changes in the body while we sleep. Stage 1 is a light transition stage as our consciousness starts to switch off. We sometimes get the sensation of falling and can awaken with a jerk. Stage 1 usually only lasts 5 to 10 minutes. This is the kind of sleep you get when you press the snooze button. It's probably better to just set the alarm for when you need to wake up, since extra stage 1 sleep isn't particularly restorative. Stage 2 is where we spend most of our time asleep and involves a slowing down of heart and breathing rates as the brain starts to strengthen certain types of memory. Tracking devices will usually combine stages 1 and 2 together and call them light sleep. We usually spend half of our night in light sleep. Stage 3, or deep sleep, is the juicy, physically restorative stage of sleep where it's quite hard to wake someone up. This is prime time for restoring energy levels, repairing damaged tissues, and strengthening the immune system. Most growth hormone and testosterone are produced during slow wave sleep. It's also been shown that the gaps between brain cells open up, allowing toxic proteins to be flushed out of the brain. After deep sleep, we go back into a lighter stage of sleep called REM, or rapid eye movement. You're most likely to remember your dreams if you wake up from REM sleep. Our main muscle groups are largely paralysed during REM sleep, perhaps to stop us acting out our dreams. This is when the brain is busy rebalancing your emotions and pruning unimportant memories. Every time we pass through all 4 stages of sleep, this is called a sleep cycle. And it takes about 90 to 110 minutes, so you'll probably have between 4 and 6 cycles every night. Cycles in the first part of the night contain more deep sleep. Cycles in the early hours of the morning have more REM sleep. Crucially, we sometimes wake up in the period of light sleep between sleep cycles. This can be a natural part of sleep and doesn't necessarily disturb the overall quality of your night. If you're not worried about sleep, you'll usually roll over, go straight back to sleep, and forget about it. As we get older, we naturally have more breaks between sleep cycles. Sleep gets more fragmented. We spend less time in deep, slow-wave sleep and more time awake during the night. I often speak to people who wear sleep trackers and are worried that they're getting the wrong amount of deep or REM sleep. Most wearable sleep trackers use movement and measures like heart rate variability from the wrist or finger to estimate how much time you spent in different stages, but they're not entirely accurate. They can be really useful for looking at your trends over time, but try not to compare yourself to other people. The truth is, there is no recipe for the perfect amount of each stage of sleep. It will change from night to night, depending on what you've done during the day and how well you slept in the previous few nights. We get into a deeper sleep more quickly when we're sleep deprived, for example. The good news is that this means that after a poor night's sleep, you can often look forward to a more restorative sleep the next night. Stress, alcohol, caffeine, dehydration, and late night eating can all disrupt the deeper stages of sleep and make you more likely to wake up. Sounds, movements from a bed partner, or changes in temperature can also wake you easily between cycles. Just a quick note here on sleeping with your pet. Their sleep cycles are usually shorter than yours, so they'll wake up and move more during the night and are likely to disrupt the quality of your sleep. If you do wake up in the night, reassure yourself this is perfectly normal. If you don't immediately return to sleep, check in with yourself. Do you need the toilet? Are you too hot or thirsty? Avoid putting on any bright lights, but make yourself comfortable and close your eyes. If the body needs more sleep, it will come. Enjoy the sensation of feeling relaxed, safe, and comfortable with nothing to do. If you feel yourself getting anxious, try 5 deep breaths all the way in and feel your belly rise, pause, and slowly breathe all the way out. Feel yourself relax with every out breath. If thoughts start to bother you, say to yourself the word the. 2 seconds later, say it again. The. The. This simple, dull word is quite an effective thought blocker when you're already half asleep. If you still feel wide awake after about 15 or 20 minutes and you're getting anxious or frustrated about not being able to sleep, don't wrestle with it. Rather than lie there reinforcing "I can't sleep" thoughts, get out of bed and find a cozy space where you can sit in dim light, read a book, meditate, listen to a podcast, or even watch TV, something distracting where you're not trying to sleep. The problem with lying in bed worrying about not sleeping is that your brain learns that worrying is what your bed is for, and you can get into a pattern of waking up to worry, which can progress over time to feeling anxious as soon as you lie down to sleep. So to start to recreate a more positive bed-sleep connection, you take your worries out of bed. Getting out of bed in the middle of the night can be very difficult, so it's worth preparing with a blanket and a good book ahead of time to make it easier. When your eyelids start to feel heavy and you realise you're getting sleepy again, get back into bed. If you don't feel sleepy all night and end up staying awake, don't despair. Remind yourself that your sleep will be deeper the next night. Keep in mind that you won't be jumping out of bed forever. This is just for a few weeks while you retrain the brain to recognise that your bed is the place that sleeping happens. So, to recap, everyone wakes up during the night, but if you're wide awake for 15 or 20 minutes, get out of bed. For a positive bed-sleep connection, only get into bed when you're sleepy and get out of bed if you're definitely not. Thanks for listening and sleep well.